Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be transforming the beautiful Nashida. So step 1, cleanse. I'm using the Garnier Micellar Cleansing water to cleanse her skin. She has such gorgeous skin, doesn't she? Next, I'm going to be using the Glow Recipe Watermelon Serum. So I'm going to be using this to hydrate her skin. Next up, I'm going to be using the Embryolise moisturizer to moisturize her skin. Guys, whether or not the person has oily skin, you have to hydrate the skin. So next up, I'm using the Hydro Grip, the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I'm going to be using this to prep all over her face. Moving on to foundation, I mixed the Nars foundation in Moorea and Yangabeauty in SM2. Then I used the Charlotte Tilbury to spray her skin, and now I'm using the softest beauty sponge ever from Merak Cosmetics. In case you're new to my channel, there is always a discount code for all my YouTube subscribers. If you want to purchase, the website is always in my description bar below. For concealer, we're using the Kevyn concealer. I mixed the shades SX11 and SX08. Then I'm using the Yangabeauty foundation in number 10 to contour her face. I'm still going to be using my soft Merak sponge to blend. So now that we've let the concealer sit for a while on her skin, I'm proceeding to blend that concealer. For nose contour, just get a lighter concealer or foundation. Guys, ignore me. I've not been taking care of myself. I've been working. Look at my hair. What the... Just pretend like you are not seeing me. Just focus on this bit. Okay? Thank you. For setting powder, everybody, the star of the show, the Merak setting powder in the shade Ginger. That's the translucent shade. I love how soft this powder is. You guys, let me not even talk. Just look at what it's doing right now and confess with your own mouths that Jesus is Lord. And he did a thing with the Merak setting powders. Guys, just look how soft that powder is on Nashida's skin. Oh, gorgeous. So for the rest of her face, I'm using the Fenty Powder in the shade 310. To set her contour, I'm using the Sephora Powder in the shade 60. And for blush, I'm using this really pretty orange color. Just a pop of color on her cheeks. I love it so much. Then I went into the Makeup Forever blurring powder to set all the highlight areas. Not set. The way we used our shade for all over our face, I like to go into a lighter powder for the highlight areas also. So everything just marries each other beautifully. So now that we're done, we're using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist to break all that powder down and melt it into her skin. Look at that. Gorgeous. We're done with skin. Now we're moving on to the eyes. I just started by using a brow wax just to lay down her brows so that they're drying while I do the eyeshadow. So I baked just a little bit of setting powder, the Merak powder to bake. Then I'm using the Benai Clown White eyeshadow base for my eyeshadow base. So I'm using the Sephora powder I use for her contour as my transition shade. Then I moved into a darker powder, which is the Fenty 460 powder. You want to make sure you blend out the outer corner like I'm doing right now with a clean blending brush. Then I went into the Hudabeauty matte eyeshadow palette and I used a very dark brown shade from there just to wing out the outer corner of her eyes, like so pretty. I was going to stop here, but the Holy Spirit was leading me and I allowed myself to be led and I kept going, and I decided to take that dark brown into the the sockets of her eyes, the crease of her eyes, and it turned out really nice. In the beginning, I don't know what the hell I was doing, to be honest with you, but it turned out really pretty. I was thinking, oh my god, is it not too dark? Is this what I'm going for? What am I going for exactly? Makeup artist, does that happen to you? Like, I just going with the flow. I don't like to say going with the flow. I like to say I'm being led by the Holy Spirit, because I never quite know what I want to do until I start to do it. So just a tip, like before I used to always take pictures that I've seen online to try to recreate, but now I've stopped doing that. My inspiration comes from God. You just have to have that faith, that belief that the Holy Spirit will lead you to the right place that you're going to, you know, instead of looking for inspiration from other people. Learn, brush up your skills, and leave the rest for God. So now I'm using the Hudabeauty Naughty palette. I'm gonna use that shade right here as my main color. By the time I was done, I was like, let me just add a bit of glitter on these eyes to give it a bit more. So I added a bit of glitter. I don't even remember the glitter I used, to be honest. Then now that we're done with the eyeshadow, I'm just using that same Makeup Forever powder just to clean up, like I'm doing right now, using my beauty sponge. And I'm using the blackest pencil on the market, argue with anybody, the Merak charcoal eyeliner pencil. I'm just using this to tight line, and I also use that for the waterline. Guys, look how dark it is. And what I love about it is it's soft, so it just glides on really nicely. So I decided to take the eyes a step further, and I used a smudge brush to just smudge that Merak black liner. After which I went into a dark brown for the lower lash line, and it looks really pretty. So now I'm moving on to lashes. You want to do your mascara first, then pop those lashes on. So now I'm moving on to the brows, and you already know the Merak angled brush. Guys, if you don't sell your markets, who will? No one's going to sell your market like you will. And being a makeup artist, I knew exactly what I wanted, because I know what works for me, what is missing for me, and what I wanted. So it took me years to finally come up with all these products that, like, I tested over 100 samples of a lot of the products that have come out right now before I chose the perfect ones. So please support my brand. Thank you very much. So I just used a brow pomade from Hega and Esther to draw the outline. Then I used a pencil to fill it in. Her brows were quite full, so I didn't want to do too much. So I didn't even touch the areas where there's hair. I was only filling in the areas where there was no hair. So now I'm going into the Merak flat brush, and I'm going to use that to highlight her brows. I don't highlight all the way anymore. That's not what's trending anymore. So trying to keep up with the trend. What do you guys think? These brows that are trending now, or what we used to do way back when, that would highlight all the way to the front? I would really like to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. So after doing that, you want to blend that concealer, then go in with that first transition shade, which is the Sephora powder I used, so that there's no line of demarcation between the concealer and the rest of the eyeshadow. So yeah, that's it for the brows. I find that it's really fast for me to do my brows when I do them after my eyeshadow. Guys, look at this hairline. Look at this hairline. Like Lola Express hair did a thing with this hair. She did the hair, and the hair is also from her brand. So for lips, I'm using the Blot Lippy to line. It's their brown shade. I'm not exactly sure what the name is right now, but I'll leave it in the description bar below. So I just blended that in, and then I went into the Fenty Lippy in Unbutton. So now I'm using the Blot Lippy in the shade Stripped. I just put this just in the bottom part of the lip. Then I went into this gloss from Soopro Cosmetics. Guys, this gloss is a game changer. Like, whatever you put it on, yummy, 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 yummy. So now I'm dusting up that bake, and I dust up by pressing in that powder, which I'm doing right now. And moving on to highlighter, I'm using the Dior highlighter with a liner brush to highlight her nose. And you want to make sure you blend that so you don't have harsh two lines just sitting there. Then I went into the Danessa Myricks wet balm. That's what I'm putting on her cheeks right now, on the highest points of her cheeks. I also put that on top of the nose highlighter, then on her forehead. So pretty. Now I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray to finish up everything. I'm not sure if I showed that, but the last step, I used the Soopro Seal spray. Then now I'm just putting mascara on the bottom lashes, and that is it. So pretty. What do you guys think? I love how this look came together. It came together so nicely, you guys. Look at the details. Gorgeous. So now we're switching to a red lip, and I use these two shades from Litty, a red shade and a burgundy shade, to line. And by the time I was done, I set it with eyeshadow. Do you guys do that? It's a game changer if you don't. No matter the lip color, if you want to do a matte lip and you want it to last all day, you can even start with a glossy or semi-matte, then set it with an eyeshadow to get what it is that you want to achieve. So that is it. Later on, I still even put a gloss over this red lip. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'm going to leave all the details in the description bar below. Please subscribe, like, comment, and follow me on Instagram. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.